Thokozani, Sanbonani Chamaku, and welcome back to another Friday video with myself, Siyabonga Mkhize from Umsamo Institute. I hope you've all been enjoying the first 2 episodes of Minanawe House on channel 157 Moja Love, and just please keep on watching. I know a lot of us have preconceived ideas of people and what is really going on, but just give it time and just keep watching the show and you'll see that what we're really trying to do here on Moja Love in Minanawe House. So today I'm going to be giving you a video that I promised you a while ago, and what I'm about to demonstrate to you is I decided, let me demonstrate you guys the spiritual understanding of jealousy, hate, and animosity, and why I said in my tweets that jealousy is the highest form of self-harm. And at the end of this video, you'll also understand, right? Where does utakata come from, right? And what is the ultimate consequence of jealousy and hate? So to demonstrate this today, right, I've got 2 glasses. Okay, now these 2 glasses, I want you to see them as your capacity for spiritual energy. Okay, now if you understand the basics of biology and physics that you learned in high school, you'll be able to understand what I'm about to explain to you today, and you'll see that it's very rational and a logical flow of things. So if you understand your energy principles that you learned in high school, don't forget them, because they apply here when it comes to spiritual energy as well. So any normal human being, we have good and bad energy. So this is the light energy. We've got nice, clean water, light energy, right? But we have good and bad. We have good and bad of varying degrees, right? We have good and bad of varying degrees, okay? Now, these are 2 individuals, okay? Friend 1 and friend 2, okay? Jealousy, umona, is essentially pouring from the bad cup. Essentially, what you are doing, mona, right, is you are pouring into, okay, or pouring from, or rather you are exposing your ancestral spirits to impande, or a herb, okay, of bad spiritual energy, right? Now, if you look carefully at these 2 vessels, guys, there is fixed capacity, okay? So if you're going to pour, right, let me just get this here. If you're gonna pour into from you're continuing to hate your friend, you're continuing to hate your neighbor, you're jealous of their success, right? You have left no room or capacity for good energy. Now, why do I say that jealousy and animosity is self-harm? This is what people don't teach you about, right? When you hate, or when you commit jealousy, or when you focus in on somebody, someone's success, someone's life, someone's blessing, whatever the case may be, you create a spiritual tie between yourself and that person. Now, if I had a piece of tissue paper or a piece of filter paper, right? What would happen, right? Biology high school says 2 low potential, high potential, okay? Therefore, I need to get to equilibrium, right? Things would start moving across. So because you've created this link between yourself and this person over here that you hate, this person has a capacity for light, right? Now, we know that when a room is dark, I can't move darkness across. If I want to make a room dark, I need to stop supplying light or remove the light completely. Same principle applies here. The light that is in here, the good energy, right? The spiritual energy that is for your own blessings, okay, knowledge and wisdom, is going to be deviated to this person. So the good that is in here, that is intended for you, you do not realize, and instead it is sent here to this individual, right? So now this individual becomes more of a light individual. That's why sometimes you're jealous of umuntu. The more you hate somebody, the more successful they become. You're like, damn it, man, why? The more you're jealous of someone, the more prosperity they get. And you're like, why? It is because you have created a spiritual tie between yourself and that person. Okay, and because you are continuing to consume bad energy of jealousy and hate, you no longer have the capacity, as you can see, for good energy. Therefore, abadala are like, okay, this good energy needs to be utilized. Because remember another law about energy that you learned in high school, saying energy cannot be created nor destroyed, right? So it has to go somewhere. So where's it gonna go? It's gonna go to the person you hate most, or the person you're jealous the most of. So then what do? You hate them even more. So then the cycle begins to repeat itself. Now, here's what's important. You now are in a position where the cycle is repeating itself. You are at the max of your capacity, but you continue to hate. What happens? It spills over, right? Spilled over now. You're continuing to hate. I don't know if you can see it spilling. It's spilling over now, okay? Let me take this out so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about here, right? So, if we go back to that law, energy cannot be created nor destroyed, it must be transferred. You've got this energy here, right? Because you don't have capacity, you don't have any more capacity to hate or for dark energy anymore. So what do? This energy needs to be utilized. This dark energy, right? You can't sit with it because you don't have capacity for it. Uye enyangeni uthi ngifuna ukuthakatha usibanibani. I want to bring down usibanibani using this dark energy. Ukuthakatha, guys, inyanga are using what you are supplying them. You are the ones giving them this dark energy, right? Ukuthakatha. This dark energy. Ukuzama uqomba phansi omunye umuntu or omunye imindeni. So ukuthakatha, guys, begins here in the heart. So in conclusion, guys, this is part 1. There's going to be a part 2, which I will release in a couple of days. I'm going to give you part 2. Part 1 of understanding spirituality of umona and inzondo is this, right? You have reduced you have completely taken the capacity, right, of you've wasted your capacity rather on dark energy. Okay? And the dark energy that because you are filled with dark energy, there's no room for light energy anymore. Now the light energy must go where? To the person with whom you have created the spiritual tie. And that is why, in addition to the socio-economic and political redress that needs to happen in South Africa, I completely understand that and I agree with that. Spiritually, this is also where inequality can come from. This is the spirituality of inequality. This is why sometimes umakhelwane wakho uyamzonda and they become more successful, right? In part 2, I am going to go into this energy here. This energy right here. This one over here. I'm going to speak about this one. What are the consequences for you as umuntu takatayo? And I'm going to go into and I'm going to explain why it is futile and why it doesn't do anything for you. So I hope you guys have listened. So this festive season, please can you carry this into mind, especially when we look on 2020 and the blessings that we've had and the hardships that we've had, and looking at I want you to ask yourself, how much of you have you sacrificed and willingly given over to the person you hate most? Okay? All in the name of something as silly as jealousy. Guys, they always tell you what to wasting. That's why we say hating someone or being jealous of somebody is literally and figuratively a waste of your time and energy. So before you go off and complain and say that my life is unsuccessful, and before you run off your shoulder, ask yourself, maybe, just maybe. Actually, before you ask yourself, you need to ask yourself, between these two, which vessel am I? And what does my spiritual energy makeup look like? Thokoza, Siyabonga, Mawande.